Okay, let's close those down for now and come to our quiz page and make some changes here. First thing I want to do on this quiz page is in the app bar that we've got for this quiz page, I'm going to set the background color to be colors.transparent for now and elevated to 0 to get rid of that shadowing, and that will make a bit more sense in a minute. So coming back to our scaffolding here, what I want is the quiz image to be on behind our quiz. So actually what I'm going to do is go back, because we've already got the code to get our image in our home page, quiz card. I'm going to actually move that, and I'm going to make a new folder in the lib directory called widgets, and I'm going to create in there 2 files, one which is going to be the barrel file for that page, that folder, and the other which is going to be a file called quizimage.dart, and that is going to be a stateless widget called quiz image, and we're going to import our material. So from quiz card I'm going to take everything in the quiz image, not the clip, we don't need it clipping, but everything including the image fallback. I'm going to cut that out and paste that into our return of the quizzed image. Now we're going to need a few things in here. One of the things we're going to need is the URL. We don't need the whole quiz in here, but we will need a final string URL. We're also going to need a width and a height, because the width and the height are going to be different on different pages. So final in double width, final double height, and let's set those up. So we're going to need and require this .url. However, I'm not going to require the width and the height. I'm going to set a default width of whatever we've got at the moment, so 70, and a height of 60. So it can be overridden, but if it's not overridden, we've got a width and a height. So we're not looking anymore at quiz image URL is not empty. We're just looking to see if the URL that's been passed in is not empty. We need to import our cache network. It's just URL for the image URL. The height is going to be height. The width there is going to be width. And at the bottom, the height is going to be the height, and the width is going to be the width. And that comma needs to be turned into a semicolon. Okay, in our barrel file then we're going to export that, and in our quiz card we're going to put in a quiz image, and we're going to set the URL to be quiz image URL. That should fix all that. We don't need that cache network there. Save that. Okay. However, that means now on our quiz page we have access to that. And what I want to do is take this block builder that we've got here and put that inside a load of elements. So the first thing I want to put it inside of is a stack. There's no quick way of putting a stack in, but it's quite like a column. So we'll put in column and change column to stack. And the first item in the stack is going to be quiz image. Now the URL is going to be the quiz URL, but we haven't got that yet, because what we're doing is we're reading the quiz in and sending it straight to our block. So what we can do in our build, we can create quiz and make that equal this, and then into the quiz page block, we'll just pass that quiz. That means we've got it here as well. So quiz dot image URL. Okay, now if we save that, we have our image. Now we want it to be a different width and a different height. So what we can do here is put in width media query of context size width. There we are. And how high do we want it? Well, actually the same. I want it to take up the full screen, so just change height, copy the line and change height to height. Okay, now we've got that background image, but I want it to appear behind the app bar. So on our scaffold, we can put extend body behind app bar true, and that will move it up. Now it's also moved everything else up because the safe area that we had is messed up now basically. So after our image and then for our block builder, I'm going to wrap our block builder with a safe area widget, and that will move those things back down again. Then going to take our block builder and wrap it in a container, and that container is going to have a decoration, and the decoration is going to be a box decoration, border radius circular 10, and colors.white for a second. Okay, that puts that there, but I would rather it centered. So in our container, I'm going to wrap that with an align widget and align it alignment top center. Okay, I also want it to be a bit wider. I want to fix the width, so our container width is going to be media query of context dot size dot width multiplied by 0.8, 80% of the space available. Okay, and then finally I'm going to add into our white with opacity of 0.8, and now we've got our page showing behind it. Okay, now just in case our image is light, I'm going to come to our app bar where we've set this background color to transparent, and I'm actually going to set it to colors.black 26, and that will give it a darker background, so even if it's on a a white image behind, the white text will still show up and we'll still be able to read whatever that is. And that's it for that part of it. So let's come now to our quiz intro page, where we have our quiz. I think I want to have, I'm not going to do too much here, but I do want to do a little bit. I want to add in the information box that we've got for the quiz. So on our quiz homepage, on our quiz card, we've got this quiz info. I'm going to cut it out of there and come to our main widgets folder, create a new file called quizinfo.dart and paste that there, import our material and our quiz, save that, add it to the barrel file, and then that should now be available to us. Should still be okay in here in the quiz card, and it's now going to be available to us on the quiz intro page. Okay, so we've got description. At the top I'm going to add in a row, children. I'm going to add in a quiz info and pass in the quiz. Put in a couple of commas. Let's have a look at that. Okay, I think I want it on the other side, which is why I put it in a row. Easiest way to do that is to put an expanded and just a sized box in the expanded, and that will push that over to the other side. We're going to need some padding, but I think I won't put it here. I'll put that a little bit above in our quiz page. In our quiz page where we have the container, I'm going to put in here both a margin of const edge inset only bottom 20, which will just move that box off the bottom a little bit, and also a padding const edge set all 20, and that'll give us some padding in there. Coming back to the quiz intro then, after we've got that row, let's just add in a sized box, height 20, and copy that below the description, and that's going to do for that page. We could spend a long time on it, we could put more graphics in and all sorts of stuff, but this is a basic quiz app. You can go wild with the decoration after. Now, one thing I do want to do is just change the transition up a little bit between these two pages, and I can do that on the quiz page where we have the quiz image. I'm going to wrap that with a hero, and the hero takes a tag, and for the tag I'm just going to give it the quiz ID. It needs to be unique, and quiz ID is unique. Okay, I'm going to save that, and then I'm going to come to the quiz card, and where we have our quiz image, I'm also going to wrap that with a hero, and I need to give it the same tag, quiz ID. Now saving that round to the other line, that should give us a nice animation, which is something for free basically. Okay, start. Let's get onto our quiz page. close down some of this. And so this is our quiz in progress.dart file. So let's start at the top where we have our text for our question. And I'm going to wrap that in a container. And I'm going to decorate that container. Box decoration. And we're going to just set the color of that to be colors.white and a border radius to be border radius circular 10, and the container is going to have a padding const edge inset all 10. Save that. Okay, there's our question. I also want to have in there the question number. So I'm going to wrap our text into another column, and in there we're going to add in another text which is going to be question, and then we're going to put a variable in here, and it's going to be the state, which we haven't yet got. No, we haven't got that because of some weird way that I was doing this watching before, which was alright during development but isn't ideal. So I'm going to come and wrap our column here in a block builder, and of course it's the quiz page block, but that'll give us the state, and so state question number, but the question number is going to start at 0, so we need to add 1 to that. Okay, let's style that a little bit. Style, text style, font weight bold, and we can make it a little bit bigger, maybe with a font size 15. Yeah, that's okay. I'm going to put a sized box after that of height 10. So after that container, I'm then going to put another sized box of a height of 10 just to knock down our list, and then our list view is going to get radically changed here. So we're no longer going to be returning a list tile. I'm going to return something else, which I'm going to call an answer tile. Yeah, return answer tile. Okay, that doesn't exist yet. Let's come to the bottom of that page and just create it. Stateless widget, answer tile, and that's taken that. Now an answer tile is going to need two things, I think. We're going to need to know the index we're currently at of the answer tile, and we're also going to need to know the question choice that we've got. So that was called an answer and choice. Both of those are going to be required for this to work. And so coming back up, the index is going to just be the index, and the choice is going to be the choice. Okay, save that, and then come back down to that, So let's just check it's working by putting a child into the container of text choice.text. Save that, and we've got our choices back. Okay, so let's start this container. Let's put in some padding because we're going to need some padding. Const edge inset all 10. Decoration, box decoration, colors dot white, and the old border radius of 10. Okay, let's set that up. Now we're going to want some spacing between it all. So coming up to our list builder, I'm going to change it from listview.builder to listview.separate, and that takes a separate builder as well as an item builder. And for that, I'm just going to return a size box height. Let's try 10. Yeah, maybe a bit more, 15, maybe that. Okay, so back down, and instead of just the text, I want a row, and I want to put in here an icon, icons.help. I think that'll give us a question mark in a circle. Yep. And I want to make it not quite so black. I'm going to change the color to colors black 56, 45, 45. Isn't 56, it's 54. Okay. And then after the icon, I want a sized box of a width of 15. So now we need to be able to click on it. So let's put our container with a gesture detector, and the on tap is going to be the same that we had for up here. So this on tap, so I'm just going to copy that and come down and paste it into our on tap here. Of course it's a function, just need to add that in. Now we haven't got a quiz page block answer status correct anymore. In fact, we haven't got any state. So we're going to wrap the gesture detector with a block builder with our quiz page block. And now we do have the state, so we can just do state there. Get rid of that. Okay, we haven't got a quiz page block anymore. So instead of that, we will need to do context.read quiz page block .add, and that should set us up. That should work. So let's get the wrong thing, and it's clearly worked because we've got our next down at the bottom, but we haven't got any feedback up here. And that's what we need. And instead of changing the whole background colors to blocks and stuff, what I want to do is just change the icon. So I'm going to cut or copy the icon out of there for a moment, and under our builder I'm going to create a widget icon which is going to equal the icon we've just created a moment ago. And then down here, I'm just going to put icon. Now that means here we can change that icon. So we can say if index equals state.answerIndex. So that means this widget has been the one that is selected. And now we can do if state answer status is correct, then the icon is going to equal icons check circle colors green, else I'll just copy, well, we don't need to do that, icon equals icons. Now I couldn't find an icon in the standard material widget that was a cross, but I found one, let's get this the right way around, icons, that is a plus, which is add circle colors.red. So now we've got the wrong answer, and so we've got this red plus. Well, we don't really want a red plus, which isn't ideal, but it would be if we could rotate it 45 degrees, and we can wrap that icon with a transform.rotate and specify an angle. Now unfortunately these angles are in radians, not degrees, and 45 degrees in radians is about 0.785. You can find various online converters that will help you do that, but that will rotate that and give us the X. So now if we've got it wrong, we've got a red X, and if we've got it right, we've got a green tick. And our logic still works. You can't select something once you've got the right answer. So we can select it as much as we like with the wrong answer. As soon as we get the right answer, we're locked in. Okay, what about our feedback? Well, we've got our choice text here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that into a column, and underneath that column I'm going to put, sorry, not underneath the column, underneath that text I'm going to put our text, which is our feedback. Now we've got a bit of code up here for sorting that out. It's exactly the same, so it's really this text here, this text widget. So let's copy that whole text widget. The choice feedback is not empty, choice feedback, this is correct, that's not correct, all the rest of that, and then come and paste that in there. Okay, now when we save that, we've got feedback everywhere, and we don't want that. We only want it if it's selected. So we need to know whether we've selected it or not. So at the top here, after we've done this icon, this initial icon, I'm going to create a boolean called selected, and it's going to be false by default. And then if index equals the current answered index, so at that point selected can be set to be true because we've selected the right one. Now we've got that selection, down here we can say selected. If it is selected, show us that text, and if it's not selected, just show us a size box with no size, which means it's basically empty. So if we save that now, then we should only be able to see the feedback on the ones that are selected. Okay. Next, I want to make sure that column is cross-axis alignment start. And I think I want to put some padding around this text. certainly at the top. So let's wrap that with padding, and instead of all, we'll do only top 8. Okay. Now that looks a little bit harsh, all that changing, and so we can actually fix that quite neatly by wrapping that column in another widget called animated size, and that takes a duration, and we're going to give it a duration of milliseconds 250, and that should give us a little bit of animation there. But we also need to set, I think you can see how it's sort of doing it from the center, so I think we can set an alignment to that. Alignment, let's try top left. Let's see how that goes. Yeah, I prefer that. Okay, that should also have the advantage of when we go to the next question, they should get animated a bit. Let's have a look. There's a bit. Okay, and that's it for that page. That's all I want to do there. The final page, our quiz finish page, well, really not going to do much on this page at all. We've got our finished text, put an exclamation mark in there. We can make it a little bit of style. Text style, font weight, bold. We can put some size box here maybe with a height of 20. We've got our score, and then underneath that I'm just going to put an elevated button which takes us back to the start, and so the text for that is going to be end quiz, and when you push that it's going to be a navigator dot pop context. So pushing that should get us back to the beginning, and you saw that hero animation took us out again. Going back to our quiz page, there is one other thing that I needed to do. Quiz in progress. We just need to delete all of this stuff now. At this point we don't need an is selected, and that is it. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there, folks. There's probably a few bugs in the thing, but we've managed to do what we set out to do. I'm not sure whether this has been a useful series or not, starting from total scratch, or whether it's better to start from an existing design and work from that. It's up to you to let me know in the comments what you think, because I will go off your feedback basically. This is how I work generally when I'm running an idea and I've just had an idea about something I want to try. I throw an app together quickly, and then based on feedback from friends and family, pass it to a designer to make it really useful, and the user experience great. And the one thing I have missed that is quite important is whenever you finish and ready to bundle your app, if you've been making changes to the quiz.json in the server, don't forget to include the latest version in your assets folder, because you always want it to ship with the latest version, you know, things like having the image URLs and what have you. So it ships with the original or the latest version, and then you can put an updated version on. Also, don't forget to get rid of the dev button. You don't want that lying around in any app that you ship. So folks, I hope you've enjoyed the series. If you have, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. That does help me out. And I'll be back soon with a new app. Not quite sure yet what it is or which way I'll go with it. Maybe we'll start with something or do something based around some sort of technique like an animation or I don't know. I'll figure it out. Until then, folks, take care. See you soon. Bye now.